Yes, we're live. Welcome to the Beyond Interior Design live show. And for the people who don't know me yet, I'm Mark Riskins, your host, and I'm an interior designer. And together with Sven van Buren, we are the founders of the Institute of Interior Impact, connecting interior design professionals from all over the world to bring our beautiful profession to the next level. And listen, the world around us is changing rapidly, and you may like it or not, but one way to predict the future is to design it. Your own future too. Together we have the power to design this world. And in my opinion, who has the power has the responsibility. So great you're here. And in order to make progress, to make the impact you've envisioned, to uncover your hidden value, you can make the best interior designs you've ever made. You need a proper plan for your interior design studio. And therefore, today we are going to talk about how to raise your value, so people know that you are their only solution. No design professional wants to become a commodity. In other words, nobody wants to be seen the same as everyone. But when two or more design studios appear to be the same, price becomes the key differentiating factor. Design services have become commoditized due to heavy competition, fee pressure, but also by self-sabotaging behaviors, motivated by negative and self-limited beliefs, fear of losing, fear of upsetting clients, even fear of being too expensive. In this next Beyond Interior Design live show, we have June Jewell from AEC Business Solutions. She will reveal her 5-step process to help you to break the trap of commoditization, stop competing on price, and embrace your true value so you can get better clients, better projects, and higher fees. In other words, how to not work your ass off for your creativity and knowledge. By the way, these were my words, not hers. You might know June for her 2 best-selling books, Find the Lost Dollars, and her brand new book, Erase Your Value. She's a leading business management expert, guiding architecture and engineering firms leaders to top industry profits. And I know most of you are interior designers, but in our first meeting, she said to me, as an interior designer, you can have even bigger profits. Well, here she is. Please unmute yourself, June Jewell. Give her a hand. Welcome to the show, June.
Hi, how are you, Mark?
Hi, June. Yes, great. Yeah, how are you? Looking forward to the show?
I'm excited to be here.
Yes, great. Well, yeah, we have all kinds of creatives in the show today. Well, we're looking forward. We're going to talk about the B word, business, and a very exciting word, the M word, is it? Money. Yes, money. Yeah. So, well, but first, June, tell a little bit more about yourself. How did you end up to be to be what you are right now?
Well, you know, I'm in the US, I'm a CPA, so I'm an accountant. And back in the late 80s, started working with software to help architecture and engineering firms automate their project management and accounting processes. And I actually started working in the back office of an architecture firm in Washington, D.C., and helped them manage their financial management for 15 years. So I learned a lot about what elevates and what holds back an architecture firm from being successful.
Yeah, and what is it? Why you do what you're doing? Why do you get out of bed every morning? Why do you want to help it?
You know, with that original firm that I was working with, I helped my client, Tom Tui. He was an architect, and he was the only one in a firm of 25 people that had any business sense whatsoever. And the other people in the company, including his partners, had no business knowledge or acumen or skills at all. And it was frustrating to him. And he would commonly say to me, you know, he would run around the office and he'd say, it's a business, not a hobby. So, you know, they were trying to make a living, and he had people he had to pay.
Yes.
And so what I've seen over the years is just a lack of business skills from creative people. They're focused on their creative, they're focused on getting awards, doing beautiful work, and not the money. And you got to have the money or else you can't stay in business.
Yes.
So my passion is helping designers and engineers, help them figure out how to make a good living from what they love doing.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, right? If you have healthy profits and you get healthy profits for what you love to do the most, you have an amazing life, isn't it? Yeah, that's what we call living on your own terms. You can do whatever you like. Yeah, but that's not always that easy, because we creatives, sometimes we are dreamers, we are misfits, we have our own ideas, but how to sell them to your clients, that's not always easy, is it?
No, I think most creative people really don't like the business side. They just wish it would go away and they could just do what they love and not worry about the business. But I actually think once you understand the business side, it's really not that hard and you can get good at it. And then you have an advantage over everyone else if you can get good at business.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, if you, yeah, sometimes we tell them, maybe you're designing always interiors or houses or buildings, but if you take a moment to step back, to zoom out and design your business, you can do some really cool stuff in there, that all your repetitive stuff or stuff that's sometimes it works, sometimes it's not, you can automate it and you can focus on what you love doing the most. But you need to pick a moment to design your business, right?
Yeah, and I think it's also helpful to have a good financial person helping you, either inside your business or from the outside, just helping you make sure the money is getting taken care of.
Yeah, the money mindset you're talking about as well. Yeah, and some professionals who are guiding the money. Yeah. So yes, well, we're going to talk about how to raise your value and how to raise your fees, because well, it's great to have a lot of people are looking for this high-end clients, or they want to level up, but well, these people are not high-end clients. Naturally, they have a good business. They know how to handle life or how to design their life. So if you want to connect with them, you need some processes and systems in place, right?
Yeah, and you have to be particular about what type of clients you agree to work with, right? Because if you say you want to be a high-end designer, then you can't take the low-end clients. You've got to say no to people. And that can be really hard for designers, is to say no.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about that later, how to define your ideal client, because that's part of your raise your value strategy. Well, talking about your new book, congratulations again. Thank because you. It was I saw it 2 weeks ago. We planned this meeting for a few weeks ago, and then 2 weeks ago I saw on LinkedIn the post that it became a bestseller again. Your second book, a bestseller.
Yes, on Amazon. Yeah. It's been great.
How great is that? Yeah, we will later put on the link for the people who like to read the book. We will provide you with the link. So, well, let's talk about that. Raise your value. RACE stands for these 5 steps. What are these 5 steps? I want to quickly overview the 5 steps, and then I would like to dig deeper in it, because that's what I love. About some key principles. Why is it working if you work this way? So let's go first with RACE.
Sure. So the word RAISE, R-A-I-S-E, is an acronym for the 5 steps. And I love to use acronyms, as you'll hear in a minute. I love using acronyms, and I think acronyms make life easier. It's easier to remember, you know, marketing from a marketing standpoint. So RAISE is rate your clients, assess your business, investigate where you add value, strategize, and execute. So that's the short explanation. Yeah,
you have a great visual for that. We will make sure the people that are listening and joining the live show, they will get that. So if you manage to write with her in this speed tempo, well done. But you can lay back and just listen and write down what you like. We will provide you with this 5 steps later on. Well, yeah, rate, assess, investigate, strategize, and execute. And it all starts with rating your ideal client, is it?
Yeah, so the first step is to, number one, decide what kind of clients you really want to have and start to list out the criteria for what does that client look like. And you want to use qualitative and quantitative. So qualitative would be like they're nice to work with. Mm-hmm. And they have good projects, and they, you know, there's just certain things you want from a client. You know what you don't want usually. Anybody who's been in business for a while knows what they don't want. So start with the opposite of that, right? Yeah. You know what a perfect client would look like. From a quantitative standpoint, you want a client that has a lot of money, that can afford to purchase the furniture and all of the other items that you recommend to them. You want a client that's going to pay you.
Yes, definitely.
That maybe they're not going to nitpick you on every little detail. So write all this down, write down all the things you want in an ideal client, and then resolve yourself that, you know, and then look at the clients you currently have or that you've had recently and say, where do they fit in with this criteria? Have we been picking the right type of clients, or are there some wrong clients in here that we never should have worked with? And then resolve yourself that going forward, you're only going to work with clients that meet your ideal client criteria or as close to that criteria as possible. And you will see, you will be much happier and you'll be much wealthier.
Yeah, happier for sure. And I think that has to do a lot with your mindset, right? If you have these cool and awesome, we call it these awesome clients instead of ideal, you want awesome clients, people that love to take your ideas, that really execute your ideas as planned. They are listening to you, they see you as the expert. And well, if you have a healthy profit, that's even greater. Yes. Yeah. But that's really like. But there are some people that are, well, they ask a little bit from you extra. They say, hey, you have the assignment, and they sign the deal, and then they say, please, can you have a look to another room, or to the information desk, or I have some other personnel staff room. Can you have a look to that? How do you handle these things? Because in the first moment you're like, this client is so nice, I really like them, yes, I will do it. But where does it stop? How do you handle it?
Yeah, and most designers want to keep their client really happy, so they just whatever they can, and that's where you lose money, because you end up spending so much time doing extras and you don't get paid for it. So the best thing you can do is to set very clear expectations up front. Have a very definitive scope of services that details exactly what you're going to work on. And you just have to be confident in your value. If they're asking you to do something extra, they are getting value from that, and you deserve to be paid for it. So you just say confidently, I would love to do that for you. Let me look at how much that's going to be extra, and I'll get back to you with for you to approve some extra cost.
Yeah, I think it's managing.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it's the client's decision if they want to spend more money. It's not your money, it's their money.
Yeah, right? But you know, even in the beginning, I was so passionate and I really wanted to work this out, and I wanted to get my design executed as I planned, and every time some people were asking me, oh, Mark, can you have a look at that? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I was like, okay, when this project is finished, I have such a great portfolio project. But then they crossed the line once, and then they did it twice, and the third time, the fourth time, and then it was even harder for me to say, stop here. No, I cannot do it.
Yes.
And I did it.
In my first book, I addressed what's called scope creep. right? It's when your scope just keeps changing, but you're not getting additional service approval. So that's where most designers lose money.
Yeah, yeah, and it is one because they don't have a really they don't have a kind of short list or overview of the services they are really delivering for this price or this package.
Yes.
That's one. And on the other side, they are so passionate about their work. They're like, okay, just let me do it. Just work one evening extra or overnight work, and then it's going to be beautiful. But that's
Yes.
really, you are in a, well, we would like to call it a designer rat race if you accept this reality, actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when you get better clients, they don't mind paying you.
No.
Right. So a good client, and part of your ideal client criteria is they value me. They value what I'm doing for them, and they don't mind paying for it.
Yeah.
And when you can find clients like that, then you're gonna get rid of a lot of problems.
Yeah, and it feels more like a great cooperation than they are using you, or if you are working for them. Yeah.
Yes.
And you know how it feels. Yeah. Some awesome clients who can feel like they become friends, or they believe what you believe. They want to know more about your knowledge. They are really eager and hungry. They trust you. Yeah. Yeah. So actually, yeah. So you're telling me you have to say no to some people.
Yeah.
If you have a new message in your inbox and you don't like it, actually you have to find out if it's one who's fitting your beliefs. Is it fitting your studio, the way you would like to work? How can you what kind of what ways can you check if they are the good ones?
Well, you know, when you have your ideal client criteria and you compare every new project to that, it'll become clear which ones you should take and which ones you shouldn't. And instead of saying no, another strategy is just to give them a very high price. And that way they're going to view you as the more elite, too expensive version of what they want. Some of them will actually come back to you later and pay the higher price.
Yes, I had this advice once before, and that's exactly what we did. We didn't want to work for them because we're like, oh, they're gonna be so demanding, but they are demanding for the price we asked them, our normal price rate. But when we hired raised our price, they could be really demanding because we had time enough and energy enough to serve them the best way possible. It was so great. It was a really eye-opener to us. We were like, okay, just double or I thought we tripled the price or something stupid. And they said, yes, let's start. Yes, we want to work with you. We're like, oh, okay. They trust us for sure.
Sometimes it's worth it, right?
Yeah, it's cool. It's really scary. So for the people that, if you are listening and you think, I'm never going to triple or double my price, just test it once. And as June said, maybe test it out with people that you actually don't want to work with. Then you have, it can feel that you have less to lose.
Yeah.
And see what's going to happen. You can surprise yourself. Yeah. Well, cool that you're, cool that this is your advice. Yeah. So, there's a lot to do with mindset, is it? This self-sabotaging belief that we have in our mind. What is it? How does it go? Why? Well, how do we get rid of this?
First of all, you need to be more aware of it. Because if you decide you want better clients and you set up your criteria, then you will feel these uncomfortable feelings coming up. The fear, what if they say no? What if they reject us? And so it's really about awareness and building confidence and proving to yourself you can go out and get better clients and that they're out there. And it's just, you've just got to commit yourself to that it's, you know, somebody's going to get the work, and why not you? You deserve it. So other designers aren't better than you. And you just need to believe that, because
Yeah.
somebody's going to go get the work.
Yeah. So yeah. It's I'm thinking about this. There are a lot of designers. They have you have those ideas, and I have my own ideas. Like, oh, maybe one day I can design that for somebody when it's a good fit. And people are some designers are crazy about color, crazy about monumental buildings, crazy about white, just white. They hate color. And they have this mindset or this limited belief that they think there are no people in this world that I would like to call them magic balls, like houses with every color in another material or another color. They have this belief, so they just take on a client that wants to have a colorful interior, but at the end it means that they have guts enough to color just one wall in their house. And they end up with more people that want one colored wall in the home. So that's even a thing how you can select your ideal client, is it?
Yeah.
If they don't go for this bold interior, colorful interior design, it's not a good match for you.
Exactly. And that could be part of your criteria. I like working with progressive leaders. And so sometimes I run across potential clients and they're just not a good fit, because I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to say, you have to share your financial data with your employees. I'm going to give them new ideas that they're afraid of. And so I always want to work with people who are ready to change, ready to take on new things. So you just have to know what it is that you want and go after it.
Yeah, so it starts all with you as an interior designer. What are your beliefs? Who's your ideal client? And then you can communicate that to the world. Yeah, great. Yeah, well, and then of course, defining your ideal client. We were talking about this a little bit about this money thing about charging more. Huh? I read on your I read in one of your articles that charging more, 80% of the profits comes from 20% of the clients.
Yes.
Can you explain that? How does it work? This you call it the 20-80 rule or 80,
yeah,
80-20
and
rule.
Yeah, so the 80-20 rule, it really applies to a lot of different things in your life, in your business. But if you do a breakdown and look at, which of your clients that you've actually made money on the projects that you've done, you'll see that most of your profit has come from 20% of your clients. 1 out of 5 is actually, the best, more profitable. So what you want to do is try to figure out, well, what do those clients have in common? And what can I learn from this? What kind of clients can I go after that are going to be more profitable for my business? So for example, if you're a commercial designer, and let's say you do hospitality, healthcare, and education type clients, and you do an analysis and you find out, well, the healthcare clients are medium profit, the education are low, but the hospitality, we make the most money on our hospitality clients. So then you can use that information to try to focus your business to go after certain types of projects that are more profitable. And you can understand what those best type of clients really want from you. What do they value? Why would they hire you over another designer? What is it they're looking for? What outcome do they want? What are their goals for their space? What do they want to use it for? Who's going to be using it? And so you can do that to kind of leverage your messaging to go out and find more clients that are going to be better clients for your business.
Yeah, and how do you find out? And maybe you have some projects in the past. How do you find out? Can you? Is it possible to call your clients or to interview them? Or
yeah, you want to talk to them as much as possible. You want to ask them the right questions. Try to understand why did you select us?
Yeah.
and even understand ultimately what did they really love about your work and what could have been better, because then you can continue to get better. Client feedback is a really valuable tool for your business to really understand how to get more good clients.
Yeah. It can be shocking or scary to call them, even if you know you did a nice project. But yeah, I can imagine you have some really valuable information if you do that. But well, you are really vulnerable, is it? If you are at the phone and asking them what did go wrong, what did you hate about my service, or what did
what could we have done better?
Yeah, well, that's a more positive way, but you really want to know actually the things that they worried about in the whole process. Yeah. So you were talking about maybe 1 out of 5 clients is the good one. That's for your 80% of your profits. How do you handle those other 4? Do you treat them all the same? If you know this, how do you treat them?
Well, I mean, the premise of the whole ideal client criteria is to go out and get more good clients and get rid of the bad ones, and just be more intentional about who you're working with. It's very simple, really, but you can't be desperate for work. You have to be more particular and be picky about which clients you decide to work with. And that's going to elevate your status. Saying no to people, or in the case of just raising your prices, will automatically make you appear to be a more desirable designer to work with.
Yeah, so be picky, says Sven. Yeah, be picky. Yeah, I once, well, I made a lot of mistakes. I started in 2008. I made a lot of mistakes. There were people where they were so nice, but they were highly demanding, and I was offering a really low rate because I thought, oh, it's just a living room and just simple construction work. I can do that. But what happened? They were so happy with me, so happy that they told the neighbors, you need to work with Mark. And I was like, okay, what now? I cannot raise my price because they will definitely discuss the price rate of me. But I for sure I had to double or triple it on that moment to get the healthy profits. But actually, I didn't want to do the job, and it was a hard time to. Well, at least for my good behavior, I did a live meeting with them. But then I managed to talk about my higher purpose of the interior design, and they were like, "Okay, I'm not. This is too much going in depth for me. I'm sorry. Maybe you did a good job at the neighbors, but I'm sorry. We choose another one." And I was so happy, just to be honest, just telling my story, my beliefs, my designer principles, and then they found out they were not a good match with me. So
yes. And I believe in really knowing what your true strong values are and making sure that your clients align with those values. So if you believe in high quality, then they need to believe in high quality. Otherwise, you're not going to agree with them on anything.
No, the same counts for details, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. And so your values are really an important aspect of how you find these better clients.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I would like. How do you find your own principles? How do you know that where you stand for as an interior designer? Because we work a lot on intuition. We say it feels good. I think this is the right solution for you, and you build a portfolio. But how do you find out your higher thing?
I would just go back and look at some projects you've done that you really, really loved, that you think are your best projects, and what was it about those projects, and what was it that you loved about those clients, and that will start to form your values. But having strong values is really important. Yeah,
and communicating them.
Yeah, like one of your values might be you want to work with people who are decisive. You don't want someone who changes their mind all the time. That's very frustrating.
Is Is it something that you can tell people up front or on your website? Where do you communicate that you want to work with this size of people? How do you
Yeah,
tell
I
them?
mean, your values should be on your website. Your values you should be telling your clients, this is the type of clients we work best with,
Yeah,
and just ask the right questions to see if they align with how you do business. Because otherwise you're going to have problems down the road if you don't agree with your clients on a lot of issues.
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, so you can look in your portfolio for two ways. You can find out, hey, who are the most amazing clients that you did, and why is it such a great project? So you can explore what are your values. And so
Right.
I can imagine if you have a project that maybe, well, it's okay, you don't put it on your website. Is that can it be a good strategy to attract other clients, or maybe more of this?
Yeah, like for example, if you decide that your best work and what you love doing is, let's say you like modern interior design, and somebody comes to you and they want a traditional, you know it's not going to work, right?
No.
So you wouldn't want to show a project like that on your website. You only want to show the types that align with the work you want to do.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, and then there is something with well, we all want to be unique, right? You want to make this wonderful, amazing interior designs that you never did before, and highly personal, or whatever your values might be for this your designs. But how can you how do people know that you are up for this well, unique value? How do you work on that one? Because it's very difficult to communicate it in upfront.
Yes. Yeah, well, I have a process and I go through it in the book, but it's coming up with two things. One is the unique value proposition, and the second is I call it the proprietary process. So your unique value proposition is basically one or two sentences that describes why you are different than everyone else. And if you just sound like everyone else and act and look like everyone else, then you're not differentiating. So you have to come up with something different. And so I work with clients. I think the best way to do it is just go through past projects that you've done and just look at, where did you add value to that project that only you could have done? What is your unique approach, right?
Kind of higher value, extra layer that you put on top of your interior designs.
Yes.
That they know you are going to add, you're the one who's going to add that layer on top of the thing that they just want. They want an interior design, or they want a beautiful home, or an office, restaurant, whatever. But you have this special layer. Yeah.
And then the second piece, the proprietary process, is an acronym. And so you find a word that really truly represents who you are and what you do that's different. And you come up with an acronym that people can understand. And even I like to make a graphic image out of that acronym that describes, your approach, the way you do things. And that helps them correlate something unique to you that nobody else has. And I call the combination of these two things the winning advantage. You need to have a winning advantage. You need to have an advantage over your competitors. And being able to differentiate is the key to having that winning advantage. You need to have the client say, well, the only way I can get that thing is from that designer. Nobody else has that. So you have to find something you can show them that they can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, so beautiful pictures are not enough to get the deal.
No.
No.
Maybe it's the design process you use, or the way you integrate technology into your design process. You know, something unique about what you do that's different.
Yeah, and I can imagine, because I told you before, a lot of creatives hate processes and blueprints and systems because they think their creative freedom is gone.
Yeah.
But for clients, we are those dreamers. We are those, they sometimes they can't follow us. It's all in our head, all these ideas and bubbling, and maybe they are jealous on that one. Sometimes clients told us, I wish I was that creative.
Yes.
They can't follow you. But one way to get them on track, to keep them on track, to guide them, is that you will present a process like your advice, that they know where are they in the process.
Yes.
Is this are we talking about the discovery phase or the dreaming phase? Are we really designing now? Are we going into the details right now, or do we have the freedom to get a step back?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Being able to describe your process, or maybe it's something else unique about your approach. Maybe it's about sustainability, right? It's what we do is good for the planet. So then you're only going to attract clients that care about that.
Yeah, that's your unique value.
Right.
Yeah, but it needs to be, well, actually it's easy, because you have to, you know, your authentic you, is it? Everybody knows why you get out of bed every morning, what you would like to achieve, and the higher purpose of your design. So you need to actually, when you want to go with the flow, you need to stick to that. Your authentic ultimate outcome of an interior design. Go to your portfolio, check who are your awesome clients and the best projects that's fitting in with that values.
Yes.
Communicate that to get more of that.
Exactly.
Well, right now it sounds really simple, but it's you need some digging for that to get the satisfaction from it and the results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You were describing 5 ways to differentiate. And well, for me, it was some of them were quite eye-opening, because I never thought of them that they could be differentiating. We were talking on price already, but what can you do with price? Because we told we want to raise our price, actually, so we can have more time and energy for all this to create the thing. But what can you do with price?
So price is the first differentiator that most people think of. You know, are you the highest or the lowest? And if you're not the highest or the lowest, you're not differentiated. You're just kind of in a bucket with everyone else. So you could be the lowest price, the cheapest. Nobody wants that. I don't know why anybody would want to be the cheapest, because you have to, you're not going to deliver great design at the cheapest price. And then
sometimes it looks like people are really price hunting. They want the cheapest interior designer. Sometimes we have them in our inbox and say, where did you get the message that what went wrong? You know, maybe you were just Googling and sending copy paste email and see what's going on. They're asking for, they start to ask on price. What is that?
The cheapest clients aren't fun to work with. I mean, who wants that? So you can be the most expensive, but then you're going to narrow which clients that you can work with. In my book, I take you through a bunch of different pricing strategies, and I believe in getting kind of creative with your pricing, or offering options. You know, options might be, you know, a basic option would be to just do the design and not implement the design, right? Let them do it themselves, but you're just designing it for them. And there may be clients out there that want that. And then you might have another option that's kind of in the middle, where you're doing some of the installation. And then you might have some that you're doing the full-blown installation and picking out every single thing for them and buying it and installing it and doing everything. And so those are 3 options. And I like doing 3 options. I think it makes clients think a lot more about what they want. And you can help them, guide them through that process a little bit better. So that's one way to differentiate. And you give each of those options an interesting name. You know, and so when they see that, psychologically kind of forces the client to think more about which one they want rather than which designer they want.
You are educating the client already, and actually they are already one step in your process.
Yes.
And it's hard to get out of it if you still feel you have some options. You are not dragging into one office. It's just like, with one designer, you're already starting the process a little bit.
Exactly. Because if they only get one option, then they might not like it, and they might not even tell you they don't like it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you give them 3 options, then they're going to ask questions. Well, how does this work? And how does this work? And then you can get into a real dialogue and conversation with them about what they really need and want. And it's just going to differentiate you.
It feels kind of salesy, is it? With all these packages and prices, it's really like, okay, I have 3 options for you, but you're guiding your clients actually. Yeah? You're helping them to make a choice.
Yeah, and you can say to them, we're going to get to know each other really well, but at this point, I don't know exactly what your priorities are. So I'm, offering you 3 options, and we can talk through them and figure out which is best for you.
Yeah. We had I would like to add an example, because we had a price list on one moment with all kinds of services, and we productified it and we named it. That's what we teach our members in the Beyond the Interior Design Club as well. But there was a light plan or electric plan. There was always a thing. People that were more aesthetic, they were like, oh, I don't care about this electric plan or this light plan. But light plan was really important to us, because light was everything. If you talk about design of values, light is so important for us. So there were situations that a new prospect, a new client said, I don't want a light plan. But then we had a problem, because we know how it could work out at the end when we didn't have a proper light plan. So we were just adding the light plan, which was first an option from a few $100s. We added to our general most chosen package. And even when people said, well, this is too much for me, I don't want the light plan, they said, I'm sorry, it's in there because, and then we were telling them our values. And we just found out that it's not that they don't care about light, they don't have the expertise of it, so they never saw the importance before of this service. So we just actually now we were just selling light plans on automatically.
Yes,
because it was in the package according to our beliefs and values.
Yeah, and I call that bundling, right?
Bundling.
So you bundle in multiple things that they're going to need and want, but they don't know they need it. Yeah,
and now our ideal client definitely wants a light plan, so everybody totally agrees with this package, with this bundling.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So price. Well, there was another one. I saw it a few weeks ago on social media. It was cheap, fast, and good. You know that one?
Yes.
Yeah. It's about cheap won't be good, and fast won't be good. Or when fast is good, it ain't cheap.
Right.
That's what it says. Yeah. So if you
only have 2 of those.
Yeah, you only can have 2 of those: fast, cheap, and good. So please write them down, people, and try to find out if it's possible to have all 3. It's never going to work. It will really help your mindset, or to guide your client on if they say, hey, you are too expensive. You can you can bring up some more of your values, or other added value of your as a designer or an office. So that was price. We have 4 more ways. We talk about brand and reputation.
Yes.
So that's more about your portfolio, what you already have accomplished.
Yeah, and being known for something. Find something that you can get known for. Maybe it's your expertise in a certain area. Like I work with clients that are kitchen designers.
Yeah.
And they design kitchens. They're known for that. Or maybe you're known for, as you mentioned, color. or you're known for a certain type of design, or you're known for maybe something else. Sustainability, you only buy products from sustainable companies that have good practices. Just be known for something, and then, write about it, write articles about it, and publish the articles, and get just your brand can be built around one or two things.
Love. Yeah, great to hear that. Then the third one is technology. What if you talk about interior design, designers, technology? I can imagine some people don't think they are talking about technology in their performance, or
So I'm sure there's, I'm not an interior designer, so I don't know all the examples of how to build technology into what you do, but I'm sure there are some tools that you can use to help clients visualize the space differently, 3D imaging, various other tools. And if you enjoy technology and you like using these tools, that can differentiate you, because if they're talking to more than one designer and you're able to show them something they can't see somewhere else, they're going to want to work with you.
So maybe you have better technology to visualize what they were looking for, because maybe it's hard for them to look at the floor plan, or or in other ways, maybe you have a gadgets freak in front of you. And he loves all this VR, HR, whatever.
Or maybe you say to them, I'm going to help you design a smart home, right?
Yes.
With smart technology throughout your home. And that's what they want, right? And it might be, it's hard to find a designer that specializes in that. So it can be a differentiator.
So again, if you are a gadget freak as a designer and you like the technology, write articles about it.
Yes.
Make sure they will read more of that story, and you will attract more fans, more clients.
Yes.
That would like to go with you on a journey and would like to listen to you, and will do actually whatever you say. Yeah.
Exactly.
I had. It reminds me of Shirley Depp. She was in one of our webinars before. She had a kind of reputation on healthcare services, healthcare interior designs, and talking about technology, she did some measurements. So she could measure the air quality. She could measure the quality of daylight. So it was she could prove that she literally designed a healthier environment. Not just the looks in the fields, but it really she could prove it by numbers. And I guess when she worked with all these big institutions, this is a great X factor for her. Yes, you would like to call it that she's measuring it, not stick to the creative part or the intuition or looks. She can prove it. Exactly. Okay, cool. Then we have the fourth is services team. Can you tell me more about that?
So a differentiator would be if you have a team and you have some people who have some very specific expertise, or it could be you, that you have very, very specific expertise that they can't find anywhere else. So, maybe you work in highly secure environments. I had a client who did a lot of interiors for embassies.
Oh, yeah.
And the embassies had to have like a lot of technology and special design in there for confidentiality and that type of thing.
I'm thinking about this privacy thing. If you work with high-end clients and maybe they are famous, or they are on the quote 500 list or whatever, or in the Forbes, maybe they don't want to show their house or their interior design in your portfolio.
No, and then the other thing you can do with services is have something unique about how you do your design, in terms of how responsive you are would be an example, right? So maybe you agree to, give them updates on a regular basis, or there's just certain things that clients expect or want from the service side of things, how you deliver your service.
So it could be that
what you like to work with. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a kind of, you can agree on a kind of communication style that, so you can guarantee that if you are going to work together once a week, we get in touch and we will get a brief. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So it could be a brand promise almost of you, that people would like to work with you just on that specific. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a lot more than to differentiate yourself than just hey, your cool interior designs, or yeah, you can do it in a lot of ways. And then we talk about the fifth one is process.
Yes.
Yeah, we already got in that a little bit, but
a little bit.
How important is a process?
Process is very important. One, to be able to describe and educate a client about what you do, but also to give them confidence that you know what you're doing and that you're going to deliver a consistent result. Because people who do not have a process are not consistent. They do it, they reinvent the wheel every single time they do a project, and that ends up delivering an inconsistent result. So showing them your process is an educational piece of what you do. You can educate your client, and at the same time, it helps build confidence in you that you're going to deliver exactly what they want.
Yeah, you're definitely raising your expert position, is it? Because you can show them, it's almost a kind of proof that they know you were not doing this for the first time.
Yes.
And they guarantee almost to success.
Yeah, and you can give it a name. You can create a graphic image around your process, and that which makes it easier to explain to them, and so it differentiates you. You're going to look like you're not going to look like everyone else. Yeah, well,
it's funny because now for 6-7 years I'm working with my business associate Sven van Buren. But before that, I was working alone, and I was really working on intuition and inventing the wheel actually every time. And well, I have a lot of energy, but sometimes it was like, do I need to do this again and again? All this repetitive work. And then I met Sven, and he had all these blueprints and scripts and emails and snippets, and I was like, what's this? Okay, where's the freedom? Where's the creativity? But I found out very quickly that was so helpful for yourself as a designer, to just have processes. You're not burning too much brain calories. Eh?
Yes.
It's really, you can do some processes on autopilot. Just push the button, and
it actually makes your life a lot easier. For example, onboarding a new client. You should do it exactly the same every time you start a new project. Should be exactly the same. Have a checklist, go through the checklist. It makes it easier.
Yeah, at first it was, for me, it was still boring to design those processes. I was like, okay, but then I find out if you have all the settings right up front, then you have the chance to design a customer experience, and that's what I like. You can really design the process to make it fun, to make it cool, to add some extra value in it, to really take on the client, that if they see you for the first time live at their location at home, they tell you sometimes, I think I already know you, and then you really know you did a good job.
Yes.
You can go into depth from the very first moment, and you only spend maybe 10 minutes on them of reading an email and planning a first meeting, instead of one full day, maybe finding out, emailing, whatever. I really like processes right now. To set it up front, it's not my favorite part, but I know what you can do with it if you have the right processes in place.
Exactly.
You have more time for designing. So well, love it, June. great hands-on advices so far, really. I think people can have a big list of how they can improve their company, their interior design life, to bring it to the next level. Yeah. Well, we had a lot of subjects already. I think we are heading the 1 hour, so I think it's almost time for our Q&A. Well, let's talk about the last moment again about your book Race. It's actually all these differentiations, all these ratio value strategies. Are they all in the ratio value book?
Oh yes, I try to break it out in detail. And in the book, I have links that you can go and download worksheets and exercises that you can do yourself to help you work through all of these steps.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's really, you're a hands-on lady. You're really like, do it this way. This is the blueprint. This is the script. These are the tips and advices. It's not about exploring or inspiration. It's really like, oh, just do this and let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, test it, try it, tweak it, and make it your own, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you want to dig deep and you want to fly high, please check out June Jewell's new book, Ratio Value. It's her second best-selling book. So yeah, check it out. We will put on the link on our website. It's you have a special offer on Amazon the last few days, I see.
Yes. I as part of the initial release of the book, we had a low price on the book, so it's going to go up at some point soon. But yeah, we're leaving it low we want to get as many people to buy the book in the first month or two as we can. So it's set low.
That's how you make impact, right? Yeah, spread the message. Yeah. So yes, we found out a lot of things to raise our value and eventually to raise your fees, because they will value you higher, is it? That's what that's what happens. If you have your right processes in place, they know your message, they know your higher purpose, what you're up to, and you can communicate it in the right way. Exactly. People will value much higher than just the creative that's going for the new, just dragging beautiful stuff into a building. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you have a kind of final advice, the best advice from your book, what is it? What's the best one? Where does it all start with?
It's just to believe in yourself and really understand and know why you're different, why you're better, and don't undersell. So go out and find those clients that really do value what you do.
So choose the right clients. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So take your time. I will advise it to everybody. Take your time. And in the first place, I think it feels like you're slowing down your business, because it doesn't feel efficient or something, to take some time to think about it. But if it becomes really clear to you who's your ideal client, it's getting way easier. Yeah, I love it, June. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, June. Thank you for your time, willing to give away so much of your expertise and to share it with our global community. Awesome. If you want to know more about June, about her best-selling books, Find the Lost Dollars, and about how to raise your value, and if you want to know about these key principles of raise your value, we will prepare a special landing page. I think it will be instituteofinteriorimpact.com/June. We will share it with you for all the people who registered for the live show to find out more. And well, if you are here joining us today live on the Interior Design Show, stick with us for the Q&A session with June Jewell. She's here a little bit longer to answer all your questions. So I would suggest prepare your questions, put them in the chat, and pick her business brain. And if you are listening to our podcast, thank you so much. Looking forward to meet you in person in one of our next live shows. And that's an announcement for all of you. I told you in the beginning, we have created something special. And if you like the live shows and you've bookmarked our podcast channel, but if that's not enough for you, you want even more, then I'm pretty sure you are going to love this. This is how you make more impact with your interior designs, and how to raise your value too, and how to make sure you can design the rest of your life. So listen, please go to instituteofinteriorimpact.com/beyond, instituteofinteriorimpact.com/beyond, and become a free member of the Beyond Interior Design Club. We also have an extra gift for you, so check it out. You can hear it. I'm excited. You have to be excited too. We've created a free Beyond Interior Design video series where we are sharing tips, tools, and inspiration. And it's really easy. Well, it's made to easily fit in with your daily designer lifestyle. And you can connect with like-minded, ambitious interior designers too. Because we believe there's only one way to predict the future, and that's to design it together. So go to instituteofinteriorimpact.com/beyond and register today. It's free.